Hi everyone, this is the Nordic Venture Show, your guide to the exciting world of Nordic startups and venture capital. In today's episode, we're exploring a startup called Kiosked.
All right, welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling something pretty much every website owner thinks about at some point. How to actually make money from your site, right? You specifically sent us stuff about Kiosked, so it seems like you're trying to, boost your website revenue even more. Which, hey, who isn't? We've got through all the material, and we're ready to break down the key points for you.
Well, right off the bat, what really jumps out is that Kiosk is making a pretty bold claim. They're promising 100% incremental revenue growth. That's a big promise. And they say they do this with something they call a programmable ad template. It definitely sounds interesting.
100% growth. Sign me up, right? But how exactly do they do it? What's so special about this whole programmable ad template thing?
So think of it this way. Imagine those traditional ad templates as having a fixed blueprint, They dictate where ads can go on your site. But Kiosks is saying their technology is more flexible, like a custom storage solution almost. It finds these extra spaces on your site that wouldn't normally fit ads. So you're maximizing that website real estate without messing up your user experience.
So it's kind of like finding those little hidden storage spots in your house. Those nooks and crannies you never even thought to use. But wait, hold on. Doesn't that mean more ads on my site? Wouldn't that just annoy visitors?
Yeah, that's a valid concern for sure. But the way Kiosk explains it, they're tapping into what they call untapped space, areas where ads wouldn't usually go. So in theory, it shouldn't feel like you're just bombarding people with ads. But, user experience is a delicate balance. Too many ads, even if they're in clever spots, can still be a turnoff.
Right, totally. And they really emphasize being user-friendly, especially for website owners who aren't like ad tech gurus. Easy integration, premium buyers, exceptional support. It almost feels like they're trying to make website monetization sound, easy.
Which is a smart move, honestly. They're trying to broaden their appeal, right? To include those who might be a little intimidated by all the technical stuff with ads, lowering that barrier to entry, and that opens up a whole new market for them.
Yeah, that makes sense. And they even name drop some pretty big clients like Anime News Network and IDG.
Name dropping can be a marketing tactic, sure. But it's interesting that they highlight such different types of websites. Anime News Network, that's a specific niche, while IDG is much broader. So it kind of suggests that Kiosk's platform can adapt to different website types and audiences.
Okay, so let's say you're interested. How easy is it to actually get started with Kiosk?
Well, according to them, it's a pretty simple 3-step process. Get your site approved, install their script, and boom, you're earning. Sounds easy enough, right?
On the surface, yeah, it does. But is it really that straightforward? Are there any potential hiccups we should watch out for?
I mean, it always sounds simple at first.
Right.
But, the devil's in the details. Site approval, it can be tricky. Really depends on Kiosk's criteria. And yeah, installing a script, that might sound straightforward. But depending on how your website's set up, there can definitely be some technical challenges.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right.
It's always good to be prepared for, a few bumps in the road. But they do make a big deal about their 24/7 support. So, at least theoretically. If something goes wrong, you've got help, right?
Oh, absolutely. Reliable support is so important, especially when you're talking about something that directly affects your income. So yeah, them highlighting that is definitely a good sign.
Okay, so beyond all the sales stuff and promises, they also have those blog posts, right? Trying to position themselves as, thought leaders in the ad tech world.
It's a pretty common strategy, and honestly, a pretty smart one. If you can give people valuable info and insights, you build trust with potential customers. Show them you know what you're talking about. It's better than just saying, trust us, we're the best, right?
Yeah.
They're actually giving you the tools to understand how ad tech works.
Yeah, I noticed one blog post title that caught my eye. It was Understanding CPM versus RPM in Programmatic Advertising. That sounds like something you, as a website owner trying to, maximize your revenue, might find pretty useful.
Totally. Understanding those metrics is key for evaluating any ad platform, not just Kiosk. It's like learning the language of the whole ad tech world.
Okay, so break it down for me. What exactly are CPM and RPM, and why should I care about them?
All right, so CPM. Think of it as the price you could get for 1,000 views of your ad. It stands for cost per mil, mil being Latin for 1,000. And then RPM, or revenue per mil, that's what you actually earn per 1,000 views. So basically, they help you gauge how well your ad space is doing, and you can use them to compare different platforms.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So Kiosk providing info on those metrics. That's pretty valuable for someone in your position, trying to make smart decisions about how to monetize your site.
Exactly. The more you understand these things, the better equipped you are to evaluate Kiosked's performance. If you decide to go with them, you can actually look at those earnings reports and see if they're actually delivering.
So let's recap what we've learned about Kiosked. They're offering a way to make money from your site. By using those little hidden spaces you might not even know you have, they focus on being easy to use. And they've got that 24/7 support to help you out. Plus, they've got those blog posts to teach you about some important ad tech concepts.
Yeah, it all sounds promising, but there's always a but, right?
Of course, we can't just take their marketing materials at face value. Kiosk might be a good option, but you got to approach those claims with a healthy dose of skepticism. That 100% revenue growth thing. It's important to remember that every website is different, and there are so many factors that affect ad revenue.
Exactly. It's like anything else. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Doesn't mean Kiosks isn't a good platform, but you got to go in with your eyes open, armed with the knowledge to ask the right questions and make good decisions.
Speaking of making good decisions, diving into those kiosk blog posts could be a great next step that could really help you understand the wider world of ad tech beyond just what Kiosk offers.
Totally agree. Don't limit yourself to just one perspective.
Yeah.
Explore different platforms, compare them, and see what really fits with your website's goals.
Yeah.
And how comfortable you are with all the ad tech stuff. And remember, the more you learn about the stuff about ad tech and how to make money from your website, the less scary it gets, honestly. You might even find some opportunities you hadn't even thought about.
That's what we love about these deep dives, right? Uncovering these little nuggets of knowledge, giving you the tools to actually take action. So thanks for joining us as we explore this whole world of website monetization and the intriguing world of Kiosk. Hopefully you've picked up some valuable insights you can use on your own website.
Yeah, and remember, the learning never really stops. There's always something new to learn, a new approach to try out. So stay curious, stay informed, and keep experimenting.
And hey, if you're feeling adventurous, why not check out some of our other deep dives? We've got episodes on everything from marketing and tech to personal growth and all sorts of things, always adding new content. So there's got to be something that piques your interest. Until next time, happy monetizing.
Thanks for listening to the Nordic Venture Show. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more stories of innovation from the Nordics.